Well, the Speed 6 was one of 3 models that Ruger came to market with in order to compete for the law enforcement dollar when it came to double action wheel guns. This, of course, is before the days of the dominance of the semi-automatic pistol in the law enforcement market. And you had the Speed 6, which was a round butt, fixed sight model, and then you had the Service 6, which was the square butt fixed sight model, and then you had the Security 6, which was the square butt adjustable sight model. These were another achievement by Ruger by way of a solid frame that required no side plates, all coil springs, heavy-duty parts.
What I find neat about the Speed 6 is that it's kind of Ruger's answer to the Colt Detective Special or Smith & Wesson's Chief Special. This was their smaller gun that was still capable of handling the big boy cartridges, but still slim enough and short enough to be concealed and find a home with the detective and law enforcement community out there that was, looking for something new, something innovative in those early years of the 1970s. Talking about the same time that, Dirty Harry was up on the big silver screen and his Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum was the biggest dog on the block. The Speed 6 was something that was small, compact, and still packed a powerful punch.
William B. Ruger Sr. was a gun guy. He loved guns, he loved shooting, and often he just made what he would like. In the early 1970s, he decided he would enter the double-action revolver market. Now, double-action revolvers in the United States were one of 2 things, Colts or Smith & Wessons. And for Ruger to enter this market, he had to have something to draw customers away. And typically, Rugers offer good features and excellent value, and that was certainly the case in the Speed 6 double-action revolver.
Modern features in the Security 6 and Speed 6 line of revolvers included a coil mainspring instead of a flat mainspring, considered more reliable, less likely to break or take a set. And it also included a transfer bar safety, where the face of the hammer would not actually reach the firing pin when the hammer was lowered, unless the trigger was pulled all the way to the rear. And when the trigger was pulled fully to the rear, a piece of steel would slide up between the face of the hammer and the firing pin that would allow the hammer to come forward and push that transfer bar into the firing pin and fire the cartridge. A desirable safety feature in a revolver.
The Speed 6 didn't have adjustable sights, and in a way it didn't even have sights per se, but it had a groove in the top strap of the frame that had a mill cut that gave it a flat face at the rear with a U-notch in it. So you had that, and then you had a low profile pinned and serrated front ramp sight. So the reason for this was that being a carry gun, a concealed carry gun, it could be drawn quickly and not snag on clothing or holsters or what have you. These guns were essentially no side plate guns. The main frame was investment cast as one piece. The trigger group went up into the frame and snapped into position from below, and contained all of the fire control mechanisms in a modular subassembly. So this is a rare example of a revolver that could essentially be field stripped with a coin. To this day, the people who own these guns and keep these guns as concealed carry or just home defense guns, like them and don't tend to give them up. So when you see a Speed 6 or a Service 6 or a Police 6 and you feel like that's something you want to latch on to, then you need to get it while the getting's good, because it may not last.